His album, you know, I wouldn't even front. I had pits, so I try to influence Beth like, yo, Beth, man, don't sit there and bust your brain right now. It ain't the time to bust our brains. Just go grab up 10 of your favorite old songs and throw them out there and get your money, son. Because you're going to bust your brain and they ain't going to appreciate it right now because the listener of the art form ain't being exposed to the art form. You know what I mean? In other words, what I mean by that is that when the people who's going to play your records on the radio, they're not the people that's going to support hip-hop. They just supporting radio type of records. And when your record come out and you come on some real crazy underground sound, it's like the underground kids won't even really get a chance to hear it because the radio ain't going to support it like that. You know what I'm saying? But he wouldn't listen, you know what I mean? And I'm glad he didn't listen because he still came forth with a rugged album, T2 Judgment Day. And it's the Judgment Day for a lot of MCs out there. He got even more lyrical. I mean, he still busted his brain, and he still kept it gun-smoking, Johnny blazing, you know what I mean? So, for those who loved him for whatever he did, he continued to do it the same thing and doing it better. So, that should be a fresh revival for some hip-hop into the system, you know what I mean?
And who's next to drop from the Wu Clan after that?
Well, after that, y'all gotta watch out for the Bobby Digital and Stereo soundtrack, which is something that's going to really be a breath of fresh air from all forms of music in my sight. I mean, it's a breath of fresh air from the R&B version of hip-hop and from the grimy version of hip-hop. It's more like a twist of line for y'all right there. You know what I'm saying? It's more like a vibe than even the music. You know what I mean? And what Bobby Digital was doing, I'm reinstating the B-boy back into it. So all my B-boys, all my break dancers, all my B-girls, and all my uppity, wild heads that love to just go out there and rock the party and stomp and just have a good time and feel that vibration of hip-hop, I'm getting you back inside the clubs. You will be able to wear your sneakers, you will be able to wear your hoodies and your Timberlands when Bobby Digital is performing. You will be able to come as you are. You know what I mean? Come on in and enjoy hip-hop. You ain't got to go home and put on your father's shirt and your father's shoes to come party with me. You know what I mean? So then after that, you're going to also blast y'all with the Inspector Deck album, which has been long awaited from the hip-hop fans, you know what I mean?
Deck will come with it.
Yeah, Deck will come. Deck is coming with his album kind of reminds me of the Booker T sound, you know what I mean? That 60s soul, you know what I mean? And he's getting very lyrical, very conscious, very street though, very street political, you know what I mean? And very, you know how Deck gets down. He's never failed yet, you know what I mean? And then after that, we're going to either let Raekwon or Ghostface come first. It depends on how they want to do it because their albums is like 2 sequels, in part 1 and part 2, on 2 different companies though. And so whoever one wants to go first, they will go, and then the second one will come. So it'll be February 20th, March 20th, January 20th for Deck. You know what I mean? U-God, he's coming in also. Now his album may be more what these other brothers is doing in a way. U-God, he wants to get into the clubs.
Right.
So, and he got that voice. He got a voice to me that's deep and distinctive as Chuck D. You know what I mean? That bassy voice. And there's nobody in hip-hop, I think, coming with a bassy voice like that. And so that should be a nice twist of line more so for us. The Wu-Tang flood is coming. And the Wu Revolution is here. For those who think the Wu-Tang peaked out, I feel stupid sorry for you. I'm talking to the artists out there and the producers out there. This next wave of Wu-Tang is 80% better than anything we put out. And for that, and you will see lyrically, vibe-wise, content-wise, style-wise, because we kind of humbled ourselves for the industry. Because when we first came in, we was raw, yo, rah, 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 barking like lions, you know what I mean? And you know, you come across certain people, you're making deals for X amount of dollars, and you got to walk inside these tall buildings, and you got to kind of calm yourself down and refrain yourself. And so we calm down, we refrain ourselves, and soon we do that, we get banned from all the clubs. You can't even walk into a club. It's like Shaheem had got to cover his face to get in. You know what I mean? They took it down to that level. You know what I mean? And so it's like being that they don't want to show us no love when we showing them love. It's like fuck them analog niggas. You know what I mean? They analog. We got to go digital on them. What I mean by that, son, is that ain't no more mercy. We're not holding back nothing from y'all no more. We held back a lot just for the sake of what we would call industry. You know what I mean? Just for the sake of doing business as good businessmen. But now it's like, man, y'all could just suck my toe, son, because we ain't holding nothing back. If you don't like it, you might get smacked. We told y'all from the beginning to protect your neck. Protect it still. Ain't nothing going to change now. It's like, I think, to me, I listen to these albums that my clans put together, and it's a vengeance in their voice. I mean, vengeance. When you hear Tony Stark's album, Ghostface Killer, the lyrics on that album to me are, and I'm a good ear, man. I got a great ear. But them lyrics are have an impact on when you first heard Rakim's first album. And that was an impact to all MCs. And his lyrics is that intense, that raw, and that vital. And everybody that's out there coming out there talking about how they popping bottles, how they driving their little whips, and getting the little honey dips or whatever, or they flashing their little Rolexes and all that. You know what I'm saying? Watch when the thug kid come at you. And Ghostface is coming through with 100 thugs. You know what I mean? So y'all won't be able to wear your Rolexes so openly. You know what I mean? It's like that. Let me tell you something. I know it's a long interview we're doing right here, but let me just say this to you. In the old days when Big Daddy Kane and Biz and the Juice Crew was like the most popular crew making money, it's like back then you couldn't really talk all that, how much money you had, and then you think you're gonna walk through the streets of Brooklyn and not get touched. And the times is going back to that. What happened, the drug dealing game had slowed down the robbery game. And so, because when drugs came out, a lot of kids made money from drugs, so there wasn't a lot of stick-ups going on. But now the drug game is tight in New York. Giuliani got it locked down. You can't even smoke a blunt without going to jail for the weekend. So it's back down to the stick-up game. You know what I mean? So all you rappers out there that think you're going to be flamboyant and flashing your jewelry like it's a bus pass, so you're going to get stuck, son. Because my niggas out there ain't having that. There's too many hungry kids out there to sit there and listen to you brag about a Benz you ain't even drove yet. You know what I mean? You don't want to hear that.
Because Giuliani shut down the drug game in New York.
He shut down the drug game. He shut down the smoking blunt game. For real. That's what I meant on that song Tragedy. I was like, New York feel like I live out of state. You can't even smoke a bone in the staircase without getting chased. The word is thirst. They on thirst. It's like a bunch of wolves that's looking at you like, they ready to attack any moment. For real. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how it is around the rest of the globe and all the ghettos. I'll let y'all know, New York, all those records y'all been hearing, all them videos you've been watching, it's a small handful of people that's living like that. For real. The rest of them ain't living like that. It's rough out there. And all those videos, because, you know, you come to Europe and I watch TV and I watch the videos they play. I don't see New York. Even though it says New York or even Cali. You do not see New York and Cali in those videos. All you seeing is a two-dimension view of a nice-looking picture. You know what I mean? It's not what's happening on the blocks. It's not the people that's living in the streets. You know what I'm saying? There was a popular song that came out by Peter Gunn and Lord Tariq called Uptown Baby. When you watch that video, you see Yankee Stadium and a bunch of rap celebrities chilling, making mean faces. You know what I mean? It ain't like that in the Bronx. You stupid. Bronx has got buildings 20 stories high with just violence and thugs and just hard times, man. And not that I'm glorifying hard times, not to the least bit, but it exists. You know what I'm saying? We gotta let them know that it do exist. It's the same. People think that Harlem is beautiful. After watching Mace video, you'll think that Harlem is like Hollywood. You come out there as a tourist if you want. You know what I mean? Harlem is rough, man. They closed down all the shops on 125th Street. You know what I mean? And people was starving, for real. And so, and I ain't here to glorify nobody starving or to condemn what's happening in my home or nothing like that. But I do want to just say that the realism has been smothered out again by the fake MCs and by the fake portrayal of the media. You know what I'm saying? And for anybody to see that Wu-Tang is dying out or is a wave of the past, Wu-Tang is the people. And until the people are satisfied, Wu-Tang ain't never gonna go nowhere. I don't care if it's not me performing or any member of the clan. But when we represent, we'll always be here until the problem ain't here no more. And that problem is here, son. It's like, because see, within us, within the 9 members of Wu-Tang, you could catch every angle of your project. You could catch a brother like me that's coming to teach you, like RZA, shall I say, because Bobby Digital was on some wild, but you could catch a brother like RZA that come to teach you about mathematics, you know what I'm saying, a higher way of thinking, just to relieve your stress and to relieve your mind of the everyday pains. You know what I'm saying, to show you the God quality that exists within you. You got brothers that's gonna come and show you how rough the streets is and how rough the game is, no matter what side you playing, whether you playing it from the stick-up side. We got brothers that was already smoked out and smoked drugs and smoked crack and recovered from that. Like Raekwon said, I was a fiend at 16. We've been smoked that stuff and lost our mind to it and caught our minds back. You got brothers that chase girls and will give you the view side of how to get girls and what girls is about and how many games girls play. You'll catch every angle of the project from Wu-Tang. And then you also have an up-and-coming MCs like Sons of Man, Killer Army, that's still fresh out the ghetto, fresh out the project. Like Capadonna, for instance, you know what I'm saying? He came home from jail, hit the projects, and he was headed towards back to jail. But we grabbed him at the right moment, and you hear his story come through, hear his viciousness come through, you know what I mean? So you hearing the real people when you see Wu-Tang. When you hear groups like the Wu Syndicate, you know what I'm saying? Or even we got the Remedy, the first white rapper down Wu-Tang, you know what I'm saying? Who's a Jew, you know what I mean? And he had a song out about the Holocaust. He describing the pain that his people went through, and on top of that, it's like he also represent the white boys on Staten Island that's also getting thugged out. You know what I mean? It's thugs, white thugs too. You know what I mean? It's problems all over. You know what I'm saying? And so you know, we just trying to represent the world. That's why when you go to a Wu-Tang concert, to me, I look in the crowd, know what I see? I be seeing Chinese, Japanese, Hawaiians, blacks, whites, Spanish, Mexicans. They all be in there with the Wu bird in the air. You know what I mean? So I know that our voice and our sound is universal. So for anybody to think that that Wu-Tang is gone, you got to be crazy. We told you Wu-Tang forever. You know, one fan, I overheard some fans talking one day, though. It kind of discouraged me at first, right? So they was talking about who's the best. You know what I mean? They was naming everybody's name. And they ain't mentioned Wu-Tang. I said, what? Wu-Tang is the best. I said, man, you crazy, RZA. We don't even put you in that kind of category. Wu-Tang is God. You know what I mean? If we talking about just other people, Wu-Tang, that's like, you don't think about that. That's God right there. You don't even got to listen to that. That's something you could just take and hold, you know what I mean? And I understood what he meant. It's like you don't put us in the middle of all these rappers. Wu-Tang stands out to a light of his own. You know what I mean? It's like you use that right there more like a medicine. You know what I'm saying? Whereas with the other cats that's out there, you could use them just as an escapism. You know what I mean? To party your life or to dance your life. Wu-Tang is that reality.